So I've been talking about what has been kind of presented to us as this idea of pre-crime, the whole Minority Report thing where they figure out what crime or attack is going to happen and who's going to do it before it ever happens, and then they can decide who they're going to harass, right? And basically what I've been looking at is this type of thing, which I'm going to call predictive policing, right? And they're using AI for a lot of times, at least what I've read about it. Predictive policing is they use AI to do it. What I've been looking at is this whole idea that they could use it politically, right? Because if they know there's going to be a terror attack that's going to happen, and they can look at it and see that, and this isn't even a terror attack that they, decided they want to happen. Just they see it coming, right? And how could they use that politically? And I'm going to say they because we have very clear political rivalry in our country right now, and you can't always trust that who's in law enforcement or in positions of power to affect this are going to be looking out for all of us, and maybe they're just looking out for one party or the other, right? So keeping that in mind, that it might be selective, okay? So let's say they see an attack coming, and what I was really analyzing was this whole idea that there would be terror attack warfare, that one side, the one that would benefit from it, or presumably benefit from it, might want to encourage that to happen, and one side that would take a hit politically would want to try to stop that attack from happening, okay? And what I'd like to really look at is going to be who are those sides, right? Who would actually be behind trying to encourage attack to happen and trying to prevent any type of authorities from stopping it using their predictive policing to stop it. And so then I was getting into this whole idea of how would they do it, okay? Because if you want to understand who's doing it, you'd also have to understand how it's being done. And the part that I kind of locked into is going to be the whole idea of using decoys, right? Because in order to stop an attack, you would want to know who's going to do it. And in order to know who's doing it using predictive policing, you would have to profile, okay, who would do this type of attack and who has the motive and who is in the right place and all this other stuff, okay? So if there was a side that was trying to make an attack happen, right, because they're going to benefit from it politically if it does, then they might want to put decoys out there, right, to confuse the authorities that are trying to stop it, or the side that's trying to stop it. So these decoys might be very intentionally that the ones that want to make the attack happen would know what the profile was, and they would have to also know what that person would have to do to come up on the alarm bells of, oh, this is a suspect in this crime that hasn't happened yet, that we are pretty sure is gonna happen, so we need to look into this person because they're hitting all the right alarm bells, okay? So there's the idea that they could put decoys out there, people who they know will hit all the right alarm bells for, they fit the profile, and maybe encourage them with advertisement some way to be in that area, right? The suspect area that they are pretty sure something's going to happen. So, that's why I was calling it basically terrorist warfare or attack warfare, because it would be these two factions going against each other, one trying to stop a potential attack using that technology and that predictive policing, and the other one using the same predictive policing to encourage it to happen. So now what I'd like to look at is who can we say is the faction that's actually behind trying to push something. Now, if it's a situation where the attack is going to create political violence between right and left, we might want to consider that it wasn't the right and it wasn't the left that very likely did it, right? That would be encouraging that, because both might lose. It could be, but what I'd like to kind of look at is who would they be willing to throw under the bus to be their decoys? Who would they want to encourage to have this profile to who would they want to encourage and lead down the path of fitting this image of the person who would be likely to do their attack that they know is going to happen or whatever? Who would they select among the population to kind of put in the wrong place at the right time? Okay, so a lot of times we never know, like let's say the attack did happen, a lot of times we never know who those people are. We know about who they accused of doing something, right? We know about that person, but all the other likely suspects, we don't really get to analyze those people. Who would be able to analyze them would be law enforcement, but we generally are not going to know who those people were and why they were likely suspects and why all of these likely suspects were in the same place at the same time, and pretty much looking like decoys, okay? So if we were allowed to, and if we were allowed to, do our own investigation and not just accept what media tells us right after something happened, oh, is this crazy person, whatever, okay? All right, so if we get to that point and we're not just blindly accepting whatever the media wants to tell us about, oh, the right did it because the left was the one hit, or the left did it because the right was the one hit. And if instead we're looking at this whole thing might very well be all about sparking a right versus left fight instead of just falling into it because it might be convenient for your party, whatever the one that was damaged, instead of allowing yourself to be drawn into that whole thing, this I'm going to say instinct to blame the other side. What I'd like to look at is, what do they not allow us to see, right? Because they always tell us we shouldn't listen to the suspect, right? Anything they put out there online, anything they wrote, any videos they put out, whatever, we shouldn't listen to them because that would be letting the terrorists win, right? So if there's this thing where we're being told, oh, we shouldn't listen to that, we shouldn't look at that, and it's covered up, and we're supposed to accept that that's covered up, why? Why are we not supposed to listen to it? And what I'm thinking is, if we pretty much, as people, demand to know what that is, we might see that that's part of what they're trying to cover up. And I'm gonna expect, or suspect really, that anything that they're trying to cover up around that and trying to tell us, oh, this is what it was about, instead of allowing us to see for ourselves, that, maybe we might see things like, oh, that person that was the suspect was actually anti-Israel, or anti-this or anti-that, that they don't want us to know about. And I'm going to say that's who probably commissioned the attack,